Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean, this is In The Mixer. We're up to episode 14 of our beta save. It's no longer in the beta though. We're in the full version of the game. We're continuing our series with Uzbekistan. What started as an Atletico Madrid at beta save has now kind of turned into a bit of a journeyman. So if you haven't watched the last episode, you'll know that we're up to the World Cup, which is going to be a fantastic opportunity for us to try and boost our reputation a little bit. Things haven't been going fantastically well, but we'll go through our results in a moment. In fact, we might as well jump straight into them. Of course, since that last episode, we've played a whole bunch of different friendlies against Portugal and Belgium. We lost those two. I think that was in the last episode before the World Cup draw took place. We then played Chile and Colombia. Both defeats in that game, 3-1 to Chile, 3-0 for Colombia. In this one, I rotated just a little bit. We'll get into why in a moment. And then our most recent friendlies in the lead up to the competition, a 3-0 defeat to Mexico and a 1-0 defeat to USA. A late goal was enough to get past them. I think I figured out what we need to do, which is effectively use our cautious mentality in the first half to stay in the game. And then as the game opens up in the second half, maybe the last 30 minutes, switch to our positive mentality and we do really well. Now you may remember we're playing Denmark, Chile and Belgium in our World Cup games. We're going to bring you the Denmark and Chile games today. And then tomorrow's episode we'll probably do the game against Belgium, who you'd expect to be the highest team in the group. If we get anything against Denmark and Chile, it could be a huge game. But in reality, it might be a dead rubber or something like that. If it is, we'll go and start looking for other jobs. So no matter what happens in this World Cup run, we're probably going to resign from the Uzbekistan post after it. And fingers and toes crossed, we have a little bit of a reputation boost for having qualified for the World Cup and gotten the team through. And if we go to our leagues here, we're put in the top 5 divisions that I care about. No Italy, no Spain, but Premier League, League 1, Bundesliga, the Dutch Eredivisie and Liga NOS in Portugal. Hopefully, by the time we leave the World Cup, because it's randomly being played in November for the Qatar version, there will be a club job available that we can go and look at. So that's the rough plan. If it kicks on and we get out of the group, then we might bring the extra episode tomorrow as well. But we have to get past Denmark, we have to get past Chile to do it. I did mention against Chile, we played them earlier. I stayed on attacking for the entire 90 minutes, just to fuck with their scouts, really. That was the only really reason that I did it. It went okay, it could have gone better. I think we're better set up and better prepared for what tactics are going to work at different stages of the competition. And of course, we're playing in Qatar, which is a relatively similar climate to where we would play in Uzbekistan. There might be a little bit of an advantage there, but we're very much the underdogs in the group and pretty much for the entire World Cup as well. If we go and have a look at the different groups or the preview, do you get a preview for the World Cup? Doesn't look like you do, but, you know, whatever. There's some big teams in here. The tops of each groups would be the teams that you'd expect to get out pretty comfortably. And you can see for a good few of them, a couple of games have been played. Jamaica and England beat Morocco and Qatar in Group A. Croatia and Spain won their 2 first games, which you'd expect with Mali and USA at the bottom of that one. France and South Korea beat Holland and Colombia. Argentina and Australia and Senegal drew. Argentina beat Costa Rica. Switzerland and Japan beat Germany and Mexico, which is a bit of a shock, and Brazil won their game while Algeria and Scotland drew. The Group G, which is our group, and Group H games are played today. So still some very interesting things going on. Still relatively wide open, but we're going to know more ahead of time. This is the squad that we went with. Unfortunately, we lost 2 of our biggest players to injury for the tournament. Zurshid Girsov, who was our excellent right back. He got a lower back stress fracture about 3 weeks before the tournament. He's not going to make it through, so he hasn't made the squad, unfortunately. We do miss him a tremendous amount. He's an excellent player. And the other one that we missed out on is Aliev, our number 10. He's actually okay now, but I couldn't name him in the squad because he had that injury cloud over him. The medical staff would not allow me to name him, even with that kind of orange injury that he had. Massive shame, because he is also one of the players that would have been in our first choice 11. One of the big things I've learnt, our first choice 11's fine, but our top 15 players aren't really very good. As soon as you take someone out, it drops off quite a bit. We're still using the same basic tactic instructions. Everyone's just playing in their preferred roles in that formation, with the exception of Gofarov, because we don't have a left-sided player. You can see previously Ahmad Daliev, who's now playing at right back. Like, our previous right back was 4 stars. Aliev, who was previously playing at the 10, was 4 stars as well. It's frustrating that they're gone, but I'm still thinking we might do okay. We might get a shock draw or something like that in one of these games. It's super important to get off a good start, and we're going to jump forward to the game against Denmark now. Just like that, we're a couple of hours ahead. Looking first at the Denmark lineup, they're similarly playing a 4-2-3-1, a very strong looking lineup. Kasper Schmeichel, whose name I've just butchered the pronunciation of, is playing in goal, of course. Christensen from Chelsea is one of the centre-backs. Hojberg from Southampton. Delaney from Dortmund. Fischer's out on the left wing from Randers. Sisto is a decent player on the right. Christian Eriksen, of course, is their star, playing at the 10 and wearing the captain's armband. And it's Kasper Dolberg up top. He's now 25. He was the wonder kid for years and years and years in different versions of Football Manager. He's now playing for Nice. Still a very good player. They're going to be a strong side. They're going to be a very well-disciplined and hard-working side. We also are as well. We're just going to see how we go. We're going to stay on our cautious mentality for the first half an hour, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, depending on how we're going. And then we're going to move to our positive one to try and push for the game in the second half. Assertively, we're just going to say nobody expects us to get a result, so just go out there and enjoy playing without any pressure on you. It's the first game of the group. I don't want anyone to get too upset. Assertively, we'll tell the defence we have faith in them. Zokshimov is the only one who's upset, and my Sunday League experience seems to hurt me most with the team talks than anything else. I've got good man management, I've got good motivating, it just doesn't seem to work. Pre-match press conference, your team selection has offered very little by the way of surprise today. You're confident ahead of kickoff, and we'll say team's picked itself, that's fine. They don't seem to particularly worry too much, and our first World Cup game has kicked off, and we've got a highlight very early in the game. Christensen to take a throw-in to Hojberg, now to Delaney. Christensen to Hojberg. Good crossfield switch to Fischer, who brings it down in the box. It's a good save. We have changed our goalkeeper. One of the previous backup goalkeepers, Ilyasov, has now moved to 5-star current ability. So we dropped Kubatov back down to the bench. And he's been doing okay. Not too bad, not too great. Deep free kick here. Demisi, flicked on header from Hojberg, and thankfully it's over. So we're holding on so far, but we haven't seen anything in terms of shots statistically or highlights. It's 30 minutes gone, so we're going to use our demand more shout. We've got a throw in here. Komolov to take. Jallo across to Armadov. Back to Jallo again, the youngster, now 19, after starring in our World Cup qualifying campaign. Back to Komolov now. They're pressing pretty convincingly. Jallo turns inside. Just needs to release the ball. Goes back to Zokshimov. Got a 2v1 if we work this correctly on the right. Finds him now. Overlapping run from Armadaliev. Can he square the ball up and find a teammate? Goes around Anderson, who tackles him. They've given a foul. It's definitely outside the box, I think, if you're going where Anderson's currently standing, but the defender is inside the box. I'm sick of watching this VAR replay. God, I wish they would put some patch in that just says we can untick it as a thing to watch. Like, these referee reviews are a killer in this game. And they've given it outside the box. So after all that, it's just a free kick. And we don't even see the free kick. So thanks for wasting my time, Football Manager. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving the game. I very much am, but just like, it's just one of those frustrating things. Dermisi with the corner now. Speaking of frustrating things, Andreas Christensen has scored. We've conceded our first goal of the match, but at least it's just before half-time. We can pull the rocket out at half-time, be aggressive, and switch to our positive mentality to play a bit further forward in the second half. I don't know what the guy on the back post is doing, wandering off there. Komolov just clears out, despite the header coming back across. It does see us go bottom of the group, so aggressively we're going to say, show me something else in the second half. Most have responded positively. We'll also go to our tactic, move to our more positive structure, which is just a bit more higher tempo. It's a little bit higher up the pitch where we're going to go press. And let's see if we can get any sort of response out of the players. As always, we'll give it 15 minutes. Corner now to be taken. It's away. Dolberg's going to recover. They've got a man forward in, I believe, Sisto there. They've looked to get him in behind now. He's very, very quick as well. It's a good finish. We're 2-0 down. And it looked like maybe the assistant referee was doing. Yeah, they're consulting with VAR. They've chalked it off. So he was offside, which is... well, it's let us off the hook, let's be honest. Nearly an hour gone. We've got a throw in here. Iskanderov, Komolov, deep ball towards back stick, and Rashidov had a phenomenal opportunity to open our World Cup account. It's a good save from Schmeichel, but we must do better in those situations. Komolov now, corner in. It's headed away, and that's the end of that highlight. Let's look at our subs with an hour gone. All right, now gone. We've got nothing to lose, so we're going to go to our attacking structure. We're going to bring off Kotokolov, Sergiev, and Sabiro. I'm just going to call him that because I can't get his pronunciation right. And we're going to take off Rashidov, Shamarudov, who've struggled up top, and Jallo, who's only young in the middle. Bring on some more experience. We've got a highlight here. Shamarudov, if he can score, I'll leave him out there. If Rashidov can assist, I'll leave him out there as well. Skips past one challenge. Can he get the ball in? Shamarudov's there, and the header is straight at Schmeichel. So we're going to proceed with those changes. We're also going to use good old faithful, after an hour, I get creative shout. A couple of inspired. Kobolov at the back is a bit nervous. Long throw up the line to Eriksson, who's gotten goal side, and no one's coming across to close him down. He gets his strike away, and thankfully it's just wide. Would have been the simplest of tap-ins if someone had made a better off-the-ball run. Ilyasov now with a goal kick to Zokshimov. Looks for a long ball up top. No one goes after it, which is frustrating. Brun Larsen flicks it on. Sergiev now. Out to Hochberg. Good ball in behind for Dolberg. He's got 1v1 and he's found the finish. So 1v1s have definitely been fixed since the update to the new game. And very frustrating that is how we've conceded. Especially like when we played that long ball up the line and no one went after it. Like that's the sort of stuff that you'd expect better from. It's a good ball in behind, to be fair, but Dolberg does well. No harm on the keeper either. He did as much as he could. He came flying out. It's just a good finish. But that's the difference in quality between us and the other teams. Gonna wait for this to hit the 80th minute. We're going to demand more. It's going to be a 2-0 defeat, I think, in the first game of the group. Belgium and Chile are drawing in the other game, which is kind of okay for us. Kobolov with the ball now. Long ball forward. Gofferov should be able to bring it down. He's lost out to Christensen. Iskanderov. He's got runners either side. Goes to Gofferov on the left. He loses out to Christensen. He bursts forward into his own half. Goes back inside to Delaney. Overlapping around to Christensen. It's a long one too. He's in the box now, and thankfully he's just screwed that shot wide of the near post. 4 minutes to be added on. I don't think we're going to see much else from the game. We're through 3 minutes of it now. There's one last highlight. Brun Larsen with the goal to make it 3-0. Very frustrating. It's a good corner from Christensen. It's 2 set pieces that they've caught us out on. And I think that's just one of those areas where you just struggle if you're worse from set pieces. Like, we don't have good headers. We don't have tall players. And it's 2 very similar balls in, 2 very similar goals from the two... Well, not the 2 defenders, because I think Brun Larsen's a midfielder. Aggressive, let's say, far from pleased with that result. Denmark coast past Uzbekistan. We're not going to have much time to regroup. And we're just going to go through all of those sort of things. No comment. Kodakolov expected to be fit for World Cup after injury. Yeah, like, you're not in the starting 11, mate. You're not going to be involved that much. We'll leave him out for the next game, and we're also going to switch it up. Instead of going cautious, we'll go positive to start with, and we'll go after it a little bit more. Chile will have a danger on the break and getting in behind, because we're just not that quick. But really, we have to go after it a little bit, so we might as well make that adjustment. Same lineup, purely because we don't have that much depth outside of the squad. So, like, if you look at the players that are decent, or maybe we'll put in Sober instead of Jalanov, and just play him as a box-to-box, which I think is his preferred role. Box-to-box on support. Box-to-box on support. And we'll just make sure all of our tactics are up to date in case we need to switch between them. So he's okay. The only other one is Soyunov, who's a goalkeeper. Kubatov, who's a goalkeeper. The best goalkeeper is already playing. So we don't have a tremendous amount of depth outside of the starting 11, which is probably the biggest frustration of the group. And of course, losing 2 of our better players beforehand. I'm not making excuses, but it would have been much easier having the 2 of them out there. 2-2 draw in the other game, Chile and Belgium, which kind of leaves the group wide open. 90th minute own goal nearly put Belgium ahead, and then a 95th minute equaliser for Chile. Very dramatic game. Let's go ahead and jump forward to the game against Chile now. Alright, so looking at the 2 lineups, it's just that one change for us. I don't know why we keep getting these notes about debuts and stuff, because they've been playing for ages and ages. Looking like they're playing a 4-2-3-1, but with 2 deeper midfielders than Denmark had. Aranguiz got 2 goals from the penalty spot the last time we played them. Excellent penalty taker, 17 rating. So we'll have to try not to commit too many fouls. Castillo up top looks alright. Club America and Benfica forward looks to be fairly decent. Arturo Vidal's on the bench. Angelo Henriquez, who we played against last time. Gary Medel, Sanchez, Vargas, they're all on the bench. So they're rotating a little bit for this fixture, which is interesting. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them a little bit. Let's assertively tell everyone I expect to see a much better showing. At least someone's responded positively to that, which is a success. Ahmedov is set to make his 127th appearance for Uzbekistan. Just how much does it mean to him and the supporters? Passionately, let's say, delighted for him. Zokshimov is fit enough to last. Yeah, let's see how he goes. I didn't even look at players' fitness, which is probably not the sign of a fantastic coach. He's only on 84, which is there's some of their players that are around a similar level. We've got a highlight here. Iskanderov looks for a ball at the line, but Pulgar cuts it out without really any concern. Long ball over the top. Zokshimov wins the header. Iskanderov, Armadaliev. Long ball forward to Shomarudov. Aranguiz, who we spoke about in the build-ups, recovered the possession. Long ball over the top here. Someone going to chase it down. Castellon's coming out of his box. Long ball forward. Flick on header should be tidied up by Armadaliev. Zokshimov looks for a crossfield switch to nobody in particular, but we've done quite well. Gofferov enters the box now. Can he find the finish for the strike from the angle? And Castellon pushes it around the post for our first corner of the game. So positive, much better start. Komalov's to take the corner now. Left a 2v1 up top, which we'd be concerned about. Good header, and it's pushed away again by Castellon. who's had a good start to the game. But 2 chances on goal. That's more than we had in the entirety of the last game. Valencia with the deep ball forward. Diaz in the area. It's pinballing around. It's back out to Valencia again. Cuts it back. Out to Valencia. Hangs one front stick. And thankfully Castillo's strike from the front of the post is just wide. Belgium beat Denmark in the other game 4-3. So Belgium are conceding quite a bit. But they are now top of the group. Amadaliev now. Amadov. Back to Amadaliev again. Pick the right ball in the box. Squares one to Iskanderov. Rashidov from the angle gets a strike away, and it's our first goal of the World Cup. Sada Rashidov assist to Iskanderov, who wasn't going to be playing in the squad at all. Unfortunately, that injury to Aliev. But he gets his assist on the big stage, and for the first time in this World... Well, that's the first World Cup goal that I think Uzbekistan have ever really gotten. It's poor keeping from Castellon, but we're going to take it. And it might mean if we can get to half-time, or maybe we'll get to 30 minutes in positive, we might switch to cautious and see how we go. It would see us move up into 3rd position, still behind Denmark. We need to get more goals to boost our goal difference. Or, alternatively, we may have to try and get something against Belgium and hope Denmark lose their final game. 15 minutes before half-time, we're going to go to cautious and we're going to use our demand more shout. They've got a highlight here. Pulgar with the ball, backstick runner towards Delgado, and they've equalised immediately. Ignore everything that I just told you. Game, just go positive again. We're going to have to try and outscore them. It's pretty poor, to be fair. No one gets out to stop this man here. No one gets out to stop the guy from crossing. And just don't track the runner. Maybe the keeper could have even come out. It bounced inside the 6-yard box. You'd expect him to do better. Demand more shouts. Already been used. We're back on our positive mentality. They've got a highlight here from the throw-in. Albanoz to Rodriguez on the left wing. Ball inside. Shomarudov done very well. He's got a man outside to his left, but he's going by himself. Can he find the finish? Square ball to Gofarov, and we've gone 2-1 up now. A phenomenal run from Eldor Shomarudov, who hasn't done too much in qualifying. We persisted with him up front. He's one of our highest star-rated players. He's got good attributes, and he's picked up the ball there in the centre circle and burst forward with it. It's a good save from the keeper, and thankfully Gofarov makes a good supporting run, and he just has to get that on target to tap it home. So we've gone 2-1 up now, 45 minutes. If we can get through to half-time, we'll leave it. Will we leave it on positive or go to cautious? Maybe we'll go to cautious at half-time, but tell everyone to guard against complacency. Half-time, 2-1 up. We've had 8 shots, 7 on target, 56% of the ball. They've had 11, 5 and 44. Assertively tell everyone you might still be winning, but that could all change if your performance levels drop. Most have responded positively. Let's assertively tell Shomarudov, I'm very happy with his effort. He's happy. And screw it, let's do it. Let's go back to our cautious mentality. We'll give it 15 minutes, and then we're probably going to look at these 2 guys here that have picked up yellow cards. I don't want to push for too much. I'd take the 3 points over anything else. And then it sets up a pretty blockbuster game against Belgium in the last one. Long ball forward to Delgado. No one challenges as it hits him in the back of the head, I think, and falls to Diaz. Got to get to the ball quicker, boys. Just because we're incautious doesn't mean we don't go to the ball. Rodriguez now. Good recovery from Soborov. Forward to Shomarudov. He turns his man very well. He's heading towards a corner with very little support. Just slow down a little bit. Skips past him now. From a dead angle, gets the shot away. He just had to try and smash that one into the mixer. Try and get someone's toe on it to push it home. But at least we're still getting highlights. That's a massive positive. Valencia from the free kick scenario. Castillo with the header, and thankfully it's just over the crossbar. We've got 3 yellow cards now. There's half an hour remaining. I'm not going to risk anything. Gofarov's going to come off. Sergeyev will come on as an inverted winger. He's not the best winger that we have available. We don't actually have many options on that left wing. Komolov will come off for Memenov, and Sobir will come off for the youngster Joladinov. And we'll mix him up. We'll send him to be a central midfielder on support, which is his preferred role. We're going to passionately tell everyone, I have faith in you to make a difference. They don't seem to care too much. There's a highlight going on right now. Delgado with the ball. Aaron Giz inside to Pulgar. Back to Aaron Giz. Ball over the top for Diaz. Makes an overlapping run. Just stand him up. Don't do anything silly. Komolov commits to the ball too early. Back to Aaron Giz from the edge of the box, and thankfully he puts that one over. All right, the 3 subs have now come on. We're going to use our Get Creative shout as well. Pulgar with a strike from distance. Ilyusov does well to push it over the box. Oh, over the crossbar, sorry. They've got an immediate corner. Valencia takes it early. Zoximov gets it away. We did struggle from set pieces against Denmark. Luknovsky to Delgado. Header in away. It's pinballing around. Iskanderov, if we play the right pass here, we might have a few people on in the middle. Iskanderov pulls wide right. Deep ball across, and Castellon, no one challenges. It's a poor effort. We had 2 men in the middle if you had just tried to whip that one across the box. Valencia with a free kick again. Backstick runner. He's hit the post, and Ilyusov with an excellent save on the follow-up to push it out for a corner. So we're hanging on a little bit here. Zoximov with a header away. Valencia skips past one to Pulgar. Back to Lipnovsky, and the highlight ends. We're going to go back to our positive structure just because I'm a little bit concerned about that run of highlights that they just had. And we're going to make sure that Jallo moves back to his central midfield on support role. Got the highlight here, Iskanderov, played in behind for Rashidov. He gets the strike away, but it's poor. He just needed to try and hang that one back stick. But he's set to attack, so I guess he's going to try and shoot as soon as he gets the ball. All right, deep highlight here. It's going to be Rashidov to take the free kick. Can we get anything back from the set piece? Deep one towards Iskanderov, and he's got the goal. A 3-1 lead with 10 minutes remaining. We're going to use our demand more shout. Excellent ball from Rashidov, who's been up and down this qualification campaign. Just waits it in that good area. Keeper can't come, and Iskanderov does very well. He's got an assist now and a goal. Side foots it with his left peg back past the goalkeeper, and it sees us go to -1 goal difference. Both Denmark and Belgium have better goal differences than we do. And really, that 3-0 defeat and being poor from set pieces might come back to haunt us a little bit. Kobolov, long ball forward. Shomarudov. It's going to fall to Jallo now. Crossfield switch to Rashidov. Can we get a fourth here? Get ourselves back to zeros. It's a tackle from behind, and Albanoz is going to get sent off. 4 minutes added on. We're through 93 of them now. Can we get one more, boys? Just one more to add on, just to boost our goal difference a little bit. Get us back to 0 before the game against Belgium. And Madaliev now, ball into the box, comes back out to him again, squares it up to Shomarudov, and he gets the goal, which he definitely deserved based on his first half performance. And we're 4-1 up against Chile, which is fantastic. It's Amadaliev, again, one of the guys we didn't expect to be involved in the squad with the assist here. Does quite well, just keeps the ball, cuts inside, hangs one left foot. It's headed away, he gets the rebound again, squares it up for Shomarudov, and he smashes that one near post to put us 4-1 up against Chile. And who knows what could happen in the last game here. Ball forward. It's going to come back to Amadaliev again. Do you see a highlight for the end of the game? Ball in behind for Shomarudov. Can we get one more? Get us to positive goal difference. Castellon with a very good save. And we will have one more chance from a corner. Rashidov with the ball in. Diaz heads it away. Iskanderov at the top of the box. Get it back in, boys. Armadov to Memedov. Out on the left-hand side, and the referee calls full time. What a performance that is. What a massive turnaround from our first game. Maybe I was too cautious in that first match and should have gone out and after it a little bit more. 4-1 in the end. Rashidov, Gofarov, Iskanderov, and Shomarudov with the goals. Delgado with the goal for Chile, who had 19 shots, 12 on target, 55% of the ball. They had 18, 8, and 45. And let's passionately tell everyone, that was really special, lads. Nobody gave you a chance, but you played magnificently. Congratulations. So where does that leave the situation in the group, with Belgium having 1-1, drawn 1, Denmark having 1-1, lost 1, and Chile now having lost 1, drawn 1? Looking at the cup group, it gives us a scenario at the last game of the season where if Denmark win or draw, we might be in some trouble. If we can hold on for a draw and Denmark lose, we'll go above them. If we beat Belgium, we should go above Denmark. Actually, sorry, if we can beat Belgium, we'll go above Belgium, and then Denmark's result doesn't matter. So really, we're kind of hoping that Chile pull it out in their last game of the group stage, and we're hoping that Belgium maybe rotate a little bit, thinking we saw with Chile there, they left out Vidal, they left out Sanchez, they left out a couple of other players that you'd think would be in their first choice 11. Hopefully Belgium do the same. And I'm sure their squad is fantastic. Like, have a look at some of these players like Lukaku, Hazard, De Bruyne, Luka Bacchio, I don't know much about. Prayet, Tielemans. Did play them a couple of months ago. We lost 3-1, but we weren't horrific in this game. Like, we didn't do terribly. Not sure if we should go cautious from the off or go out and be a bit more positive, because we need to try and force a result. We need to try and get something. Yeah, I don't know. We've got a lot to think about. But that's where we're going to finish episode 14. We're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to do the game against Belgium, and then we're probably going to have a look at how the rest of the World Cup plays out. We might watch the final even, if we don't get out of the group stage. If we do get out of the group stage, of course, we'll bring you our knockout round tie in that game. As always though, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the portion that means the most to me. The continued support for the channel, the growth of the channel through the release of FM20 has been absolutely fantastic. You can throw a like in this video if you have enjoyed the series so far and want to wish me luck for our last game against Belgium. Alternatively, you can subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date on all future videos as they're continuing to be released. If you look over, I get it wrong every time. Look over here, you've got the links to the YouTube channel, to the Twitch channel, which we're going to be doing more live content of throughout the course of the year, including a couple of live streams this weekend. Or you can follow in the Mixer_FM on Twitter to be kept up to date to all our interactions with the community. If you ever want to reach out, you can either do it in the comment section below or directly on Twitter. I'm happy to respond to anyone who wants to chat. But more than enough talking from me. Relatively exciting episode. Cannot wait to get the next one out as well. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the Mixer.